Life in the Walter house was never simple, but Season 3 promises to push every boundary. Secrets that were buried are ready to explode. Relationships will be tested like never before. And every choice could change everything, from heartbreak to unexpected friendships, from laughter to shocking betrayals. This season will take you deeper into the world of the Walter boys than you've ever been. Are you ready to see what happens when family, love, and secrets collide? Season 3 begins with a quiet tension that hangs over the Walter house like a storm waiting to break. The walls of the home that once held laughter and warmth now seem to carry whispers of the past, as if the house itself remembers every argument, every secret, every small betrayal. The boys are older, more confident in some ways, but also more reckless in others. Their choices have consequences, and those consequences are starting to show. Relationships that once seemed strong are beginning to crack under pressure. Friendships are tested when old rivalries resurface, and unexpected alliances form when situations demand it. Amid all this, the main character feels the weight of responsibility more than ever. Caught between protecting family, navigating school, life, and trying to understand where she fits in a household that is larger and more complicated than she ever imagined. Every corner of the house holds a memory, and every memory reminds her of what she has lost and what she still hopes to protect. There is a new energy in the air, one that is at once exciting and dangerous, pulling everyone in different directions. As she moves through her days, she notices subtle changes. A brother who suddenly avoids her gaze, a friend who seems too curious about secrets she thought were safe, a stranger whose sudden appearance feels like it could upend everything. The quiet moments are deceptive because behind every smile, there may be hidden tension. At school, things are no less complicated. There are new students with their own ambitions, jealousies, and secrets, and every interaction feels charged with potential conflict. The main character navigates hallways filled with both familiar faces and unpredictable new players, realizing that the world outside the Walter home is just as complicated as the world inside. There are moments of laughter that are fleeting, but precious, moments of heartbreak that sting deeply, and moments of clarity where the main character realizes that growing up in this family means learning that nothing is simple and that everyone rise their own burdens. Meanwhile, small hints of the season's larger conflicts begin to emerge. A secret that was almost forgotten starts to resurface in whispers, and tension rises in subtle ways. A note left on a desk, a suspicious look exchanged between two siblings, a conversation overheard at just the wrong time. These small signs foreshadow the chaos that is about to erupt, and they keep the main character on edge, constantly questioning what she can trust, who she can rely on, and how she can survive the storm that seems to be forming. Throughout all of this, the bonds of the Walter family are both tested and strengthened. While there are disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments where it feels like everything could fall apart, there are also flashes of loyalty, love, and courage. These moments remind her why she belongs in this family, why she has fought to find her place among them, and why even when the road is uncertain, family is worth protecting. The emotional landscape is rich and layered, filled with highs and lows. And it sets the stage for a season that promises not just drama, but real, heartfelt stories that will resonate with anyone who has ever felt like they had to navigate complicated relationships and impossible choices. By the end of this section of the story, the audience understands that Season 3 will not hold back. They see the stakes, feel the tension, and anticipate the conflicts and emotional moments that will define the rest of the season. Every glance, every whispered word, and every silent moment carries weight, and the journey ahead promises to be full of twists, surprises, and revelations that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The Walter house is no longer just a home. It is a stage where every secret, emotion, and decision will play out with dramatic intensity. Nothing is safe. Nothing is certain, and every moment matters. The season begins quietly, but the calm is only a prelude to the storm. and the audience is left eager to see how it will all unfold. As the season progresses, the tension inside and outside the Walter house grows, wrapping around every character like an invisible chain. The brothers, each with their own personalities and hidden struggles, begin to clash in ways that feel unavoidable, as if the walls themselves are pressing them together. Forcing confrontations they have been avoiding, arguments start over small things, forgotten chores, careless words, misread intentions, but every argument carries a deeper meaning, a hint at the unresolved issues that have been simmering beneath the surface for years. Meanwhile, the main character feels the pressure of balancing her own ambitions with the expectations of the family she has grown to love. Every choice she makes seems to ripple outward, affecting not just her own life, but the delicate relationships among the brothers, friends, and allies around her. Outside the home, life feels equally complicated. School becomes a battlefield of social alliances, rumors, and subtle power plays. New students arrive with confidence and secrets of their own, challenging the established dynamics and forcing the Walter kids to adapt or risk being left behind. Some friendships are tested when unexpected jealousy and misunderstandings surface, revealing how fragile loyalty can be when emotions run high. In the midst of all this, romance begins to play a more central role. Sparks fly in unexpected directions, sometimes quietly, sometimes explosively. Relationships that once seemed unshakable start to show cracks, while new connections form in surprising ways. These developments create emotional highs and lows, keeping everyone on edge and reminding the main character that love is never simple, especially in a house as full of complex personalities as the Walters. At the same time, the season introduces new challenges that go beyond everyday teenage struggles. Secrets that were hidden for safety or fear of judgment slowly begin to surface. A mysterious note, a hidden message, or a chance encounter becomes the catalyst for moments that threaten to unravel the careful balance the family has been maintaining. Each revelation carries consequences that touch every aspect of their lives, from trust to personal identity, forcing characters to confront not only each other, but also the choices they have made in the past. The stakes feel higher than ever, and even small mistakes can escalate into major conflicts. Amid all the drama, moments of quiet reflection provide a counterbalance, showing the internal struggles of each character. There are nights when the house is silent and the main character wanders through empty hallways, reflecting on her journey, the mistakes she has made, and the bond she is desperate to preserve. These moments allow the audience to connect deeply with her perspective, understanding the weight of growing up in a family where every action has consequences and every emotion is amplified by close cue, orders, and complex dynamics. There is also a sense of growth that runs through the season. Characters are forced to make hard choices, take responsibility for their actions, and recognize their own strengths and weaknesses. The process is messy, painful, and often filled with setbacks, but it is real. Viewers witness transformations that feel earned rather than convenient, as the Walter kids navigate the treacherous path from adolescence into the more complicated reality of growing up under intense scrutiny and within a household full of history, pride, and love. By the end of this section, the audience feels the tension building steadily, the conflicts multiplying, and the emotional stakes rising. Every glance, every word, every unspoken moment matters. The Walter household is no longer just a setting, it is a character itself, shaping and being shaped by the choices of those who live inside it. And as secrets, alliances, and relationships begin to collide, the stage is set for a season that promises drama, heartbreak, and moments that will leave viewers holding their breath, eager to see how each story thread will unravel, intertwine, and ultimately explode into the events that will define Season 3. The tension in the Walter household begins to spill over into every corner of the characters' lives, leaving no moment untouched by drama or uncertainty. Old rivalries that were thought to be buried resurface, often in unexpected ways, igniting arguments and pushing characters to confront emotions they had long tried to ignore. The brothers are more complicated than ever, each carries ambitions, fears, and regrets that make even small conflicts feel monumental. Sibling dynamics shift constantly, alliances form and break in the blink of an eye. And trust becomes a fragile commodity. The main character, caught in the middle of this swirling chaos, finds herself navigating a maze of feelings, responsibilities, and choices that seem impossible to manage. Her friendships outside the house become a lifeline, but they also introduce new challenges, peer pressures, jealousy, and the curiosity of outsiders create situations that test her loyalty, patience, and judgment. Moments that should feel lighthearted or simple are often tinged with tension. As if the weight of family, drama follows her everywhere. Romance, too, grows more complicated. Flirtations, unspoken feelings, and surprising confessions create. Considered before, at home, tensions simmer just beneath the surface, with secrets and hidden motives gradually emerging. A misheard conversation, a misplaced item, or a cryptic message can set off a chain reaction, revealing truths that some characters would rather keep buried. These discoveries create ripple effects, influencing decisions, shaping relationships, and testing the resilience of everyone involved. As the story unfolds, the main character begins to grow in confidence, learning to assert herself and navigate the shifting dynamics with increasing clarity. But growth does not come easily. Every step forward is met with resistance, whether from family expectations, peer pressures, or the consequences of past actions. Moments of victory are often short-lived, overshadowed by new challenges, misunderstandings, or betrayals that force her to rethink her approach and reevaluate her priorities. Emotional highs and lows occur in rapid succession. Joy and laughter can turn into disappointment or hurt within moments, reflecting the unpredictable nature of life within the Walter household. Characters are constantly learning, adapting, and reacting, which keeps the tension alive and the stakes high. Through all of this, the audience witnesses a deeper exploration of themes like loyalty, identity, responsibility, and forgiveness. The story does not shy away from showing the imperfections of the characters or the messiness of their lives, which makes their moments of courage, clarity, and connection feel even more rewarding. By the end of this section, the tension has escalated, the stakes are higher than ever, and every character is teetering on the edge of decisions that could change the course of their relationships and their lives. The Walter House is no longer just a backdrop. It is a living, breathing entity that reflects the emotional turmoil, the secrets, and the shifting bonds of those within it. The audience can feel that something big is coming, an event, a revelation, or a confrontation that will challenge every character in ways they never expected. This section sets the stage for the unfolding drama, promising twists, heartbreak, surprises, and moments of triumph that will carry the season forward in unpredictable and captivating ways, keeping viewers hooked and eager to see what will happen next. Every glance, every whispered word, every moment of silence carries weight, signaling that in this house, nothing stays hidden forever and every action has consequences that cannot be ignored. As Season 3 reaches its emotional peaks, the stakes inside the Walter house escalate like never before. Secrets that were once whispered in corners are now impossible to ignore, threatening to shatter carefully built relationships. Tension hangs heavy in the air, and even familiar spaces, bedrooms, the living room, hallways feel charged with unspoken emotions. The brothers, each dealing with their own ambitions, fears, and mistakes, collide more frequently, leaving every interaction layered with suspense and unpredictability. Arguments are no longer about trivial matters. They cut deeper, touching on trust, loyalty, and past hurts that have yet to heal. The main character finds herself navigating a labyrinth of emotions, caught between protecting her own heart and managing the fragile dynamics around her. Every choice feels consequential, every word carefully measured, yet mistakes still happen, often with dramatic consequences. Relationships within the house evolve in unexpected ways. Friendships are tested as hidden tensions rise to the surface, forcing characters to confront long-buried resentments and unspoken truths at the same time. Moments of genuine connection remind them why they endure these challenges together, creating a delicate balance between love, conflict, and loyalty. Outside the house, the world continues to challenge them, introducing new figures whose motives are unclear, adding layers of intrigue and suspense, new rivalries, misunderstandings, and unexpected alliances emerge, complicating everyday life and pushing the characters to adapt quickly. Romantic developments further complicate the emotional landscape. Unspoken attractions, mistaken feelings, and secret crushes create tension that is both thrilling and heartbreaking, often blurring the line between joy and pain. The main character grapples with her own desires while trying to maintain harmony, realizing that love is rarely straightforward in a household as unpredictable as the Walters. As the season unfolds, events begin to spiral toward turning points that will test the resilience of every character. Miscommunications escalate into confrontations, small secrets become catalysts for larger crises, and unexpected betrayals force everyone to reevaluate who they can truly trust. The emotional weight is palpable, and each character is pushed to confront not only the actions of others, but also the consequences of their own choices. Amid the chaos, moments of introspection provide depth and perspective. Characters reflect on their growth, mistakes, and the bonds that have shaped them, reminding the audience that even in the midst of drama, personal evolution is possible. These quiet moments contrast sharply with the heightened tension elsewhere, creating a rhythm that balances suspense, emotional resonance, and anticipation. Themes of identity, responsibility, and forgiveness come to the forefront as characters face challenges that test their moral and emotional limits. The narrative delves into how the past influences the present, how mistakes shape decisions, and how relationships evolve when subjected to pressure. Viewers witness characters navigating complex emotional terrain, making choices that are sometimes flawed, sometimes courageous, but always compelling. By the end of this section, the tension has reached a critical point. The Walter household is a web of emotions, secrets, and relationships that can change in an instant. Characters are forced into confrontations that have been building for the entire season, and every action carries the potential to ripple outward, affecting everyone in ways they could never anticipate. The sense of anticipation is almost unbearable, as the audience can feel that major revelations and emotional climaxes are imminent. Every glance, every whispered conversation, every unexpected encounter signals that nothing will remain the same. Section 4 sets the stage for the dramatic resolutions, shocking twists, and emotional payoffs that will define the rest of Season 3. The stakes have never been higher, the emotions never more raw, and the relationships never more fragile. The audience is left on edge, knowing that the next chapter in the Walter story will be unforgettable, unpredictable, and impossible to turn away from. In this house, every secret has consequences. Every decision matters, and the bonds that hold the family together are being tested in ways no one could have foreseen. As the season pushes forward, the pressure inside the Walter house reaches a boiling point, and the consequences of past choices begin to collide with the present in ways that no one could have predicted. The family dynamic, already tense and fragile, feels like it is teetering on the edge of collapse. The brothers, each carrying their own secrets and unresolved conflicts, find themselves in constant friction, sometimes clashing openly, other times letting anger and frustration simmer beneath the surface until it explodes in unexpected moments. The main character is caught in the middle of this storm, trying to navigate her own feelings, responsibilities, and loyalties while keeping the household together. Every decision she makes feels like a balancing act, where one wrong move could send shockwaves through relationships she has fought so hard to protect. Outside the home, the pressures of school, friendships, and emerging romances add additional layers of complexity. New characters arrive, bringing their own agendas and hidden motives, forcing everyone to question who they can trust. Alliances form and dissolve almost overnight, secrets are revealed in the most inconvenient ways, and even small misunderstandings carry the weight of dramatic consequences. The emotional stakes are higher than ever, and the main character is forced to confront not only the behavior of those around her but also the patterns she has inherited from the family itself. Trust becomes a rare commodity, and loyalty is constantly tested as hidden truths come to light. Romance becomes even more tangled with unexpected pairings, moments of jealousy, and fleeting connections that both excite and frustrate the characters. Flirtations, confessions, and miscommunications create a roller coaster of emotion, leaving the main character and the audience uncertain about who will end up together and what sacrifices might be required along the way. At the same time, long-held secrets start to unravel, creating tension that reaches every corner of the house. A misplaced note, a surprising discovery, or a chance conversation can trigger events that change the trajectory of the season, leaving characters scrambling to regain control. Even the quiet moments, those small intervals of calm, are charged with significance, as every glance and every word feels like a prelude to revelation or confrontation. Amid the drama, characters begin to grow in unexpected ways. Some find courage they didn't know they had, taking stands and making choices that reshape their relationships and their sense of self. Others face the consequences of their mistakes, learning hard lessons about honesty, forgiveness, and accountability. The emotional intensity is palpable, drawing the audience into a world where every heartbeat, every gesture, and every decision carries meaning. By the end of this section, the tension has escalated to almost unbearable levels, conflicts that have been simmering